What if I told you that the difference between your current life and the life you dream of is just 7 sentences? Not a new job, not a degree, not even more time. Just 7 sentences spoken every single morning. You see, most people wake up and immediately scroll into other people's realities. But the few who rise and command their own minds, those are the ones who shape the world. This is not about hype or wishful thinking. It's about reprogramming your internal dialogue, because until your thoughts change, your life cannot. So if you've ever felt stuck, uninspired, or unsure of what's next, I urge you, don't miss a second of this message. Because these 7 declarations may be the very key to unlocking the next level of your life. And if you dare to speak them consistently, you will not recognize yourself in 6 months. Let's get into it. The most underestimated force in your life is your own voice. Not just what you say to others, but what you say to yourself. Consistently, privately, daily. Your words are not empty sounds, they are seeds. Every sentence you speak is either planting growth or planting limitation. Over time, those seeds take root and become your mindset, your decisions, and eventually your destiny. Think about this. Nothing in life truly changes until your inner dialogue changes first. You cannot live a victorious life with a defeated voice. If you constantly say, "I'm not good enough," "this is too hard," or "I'll never make it," your brain doesn't argue, it believes you. And when it believes you, it begins filtering your decisions, emotions, and reactions through that belief. That's why even talented, capable people stay stuck, because their words betray them. Now imagine if you flip the script. If every morning you trained your tongue to align with growth, discipline, vision, and power. Over time, your subconscious will stop fighting you and start working with you. Your brain begins scanning your environment for opportunity instead of obstacles. You'll notice energy you didn't feel before, creativity where there used to be confusion, and confidence replacing insecurity. That's not magic, it's mindset. It's not enough to think better. You must speak better. Because words spoken out loud have a deeper psychological effect than silent thoughts. They activate your hearing, which reinforces belief. The more you hear yourself speak life, the more it becomes truth to you, whether you realize it or not. This is why every world changer, every high performer, every spiritually grounded individual uses words as tools, not just expressions. They speak what they want to see until they see it. And so must you. If you want to grow, elevate, or reinvent your life, it won't begin with money, followers, or motivation. It begins with a sentence, then another, then another. Day by day, word by word, you reprogram your internal world, and your external world follows. Speak life, speak strength, speak vision, because the reality you're living tomorrow is being shaped by the words you're speaking today. Who you become is shaped by what you consistently declare over yourself. Identity is not something you stumble upon by accident. It's constructed layer by layer through repeated thoughts, beliefs, and most powerfully, words. Every day, when you speak certain truths over your life, you are not just making noise, you are reinforcing the person you are becoming. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your identity. And identity is built by repetition. This is why daily declarations are so powerful. They aren't about hyping yourself up or pretending everything is perfect. They are about aligning your internal narrative with who you are called to be, not who life has tried to convince you that you are. Most people live their lives repeating negative labels they've picked up from pain, past mistakes, or the opinions of others. I'm just not good at that. That's just who I am. Nothing ever works out for me. These phrases may seem harmless, but they're quietly building walls around your potential. Without even realizing it, you start becoming the version of yourself that your words keep describing. But when you flip the script and begin declaring identity-shaping truths like, I am focused, I am growing, I am built for purpose, you're creating a new blueprint. And your mind, which listens to everything you say, begins to follow. Confidence rises, clarity sharpens, and instead of waiting for external validation, you start walking like someone who already knows who they are. This is why it's critical to make daily declarations a non-negotiable habit. Just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower, it's hygiene for the soul. Because if you don't intentionally build your identity, the world will build it for you, and it rarely builds something strong. The most powerful change doesn't come from one big breakthrough moment. It comes from small, repeated acts that shape your self-permission over time. And few acts are as transformative as speaking life over yourself every single day. Your words are bricks, and every sentence you speak is building a structure, either a prison or a palace. Make sure you're building the right one. Every human being carries invisible beliefs, some that empower and others that restrict. The dangerous ones are the limiting beliefs, the quiet voices in your mind whispering that you're not enough, that success is for others, that change is impossible for someone like you. These beliefs are often planted in childhood, watered by rejection and reinforced by failure. And they're not always loud or obvious. Sometimes they disguise themselves as realism or humility. But make no mistake, they are enemies of growth. Limiting beliefs don't just stay in your head. They shape your behavior. They influence what you try, how long you persist, and how you handle setbacks. A person who believes they're destined to fail will sabotage themselves, even in situations where success is possible. They will unconsciously shrink from opportunities and gravitate toward mediocrity because deep down, they don't believe they deserve more. This is where daily affirmation becomes your weapon. Affirmations are not empty positive thoughts. When done right, they are truth-based declarations that challenge, confront, and eventually replace the false narratives in your mind. Saying, I am worthy of success, or I have the discipline to change, may feel uncomfortable at first. But that discomfort is a sign you're confronting a lie that's lived in you too long. Neuroscience confirms that the brain is plastic. It can be reshaped by repeated thought. When you speak affirmations consistently, your brain begins to create new neural pathways. Over time, the limiting beliefs lose their grip, and empowering beliefs become the default. What you once said just to believe, this transformation doesn't happen overnight. At first, it might feel forced, but keep speaking, keep declaring, keep affirming, because slowly, the words you speak become the truth you live. You are not lying to yourself. You're liberating yourself from lies that never belonged to you in the first place. Growth is not just about learning new things. It's about unlearning the false limits you accepted as truth. Affirmation is how you rewrite that script. And every time you do, you reclaim a piece of the future that limiting beliefs tried to steal. Your mind is always listening, always recording, and always adapting, especially your subconscious mind. Unlike your conscious thoughts, which are deliberate and logical, your subconscious is emotional, reactive, and deeply influenced by repetition. It's the operating system that runs in the background of your life, shaping 90% of your decisions, reactions, and habits, whether you realize it or not. What you repeatedly say to yourself, especially with emotion and frequency, becomes part of your subconscious programming. This means that the words you speak daily are either empowering your progress or quietly sabotaging it. If you constantly say things like, "I'll never get ahead," "I'm always tired," or "this is just who I am," your subconscious receives those words as instructions, not opinions. It takes those repeated phrases and begins to filter your behavior, attitude, and even perception through them. But here's the good news. If repetition created the problem, repetition can also create the solution. That's the power of daily spoken affirmations. When you repeatedly declare truth, purpose, strength, and vision over your life, you're feeding your subconscious new information. And because it doesn't know the difference between truth and repetition, it begins to accept what you say as reality. It's not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about programming your inner world to respond with resilience, discipline, and faith, instead of fear, insecurity, or doubt. Over time, your subconscious will begin to shift. You'll react differently. You'll notice doors you didn't see before. You'll start showing up in rooms with a quiet inner strength that wasn't there months ago. Consistency is key. One affirmation won't change your life, but repeated daily, those declarations begin to rewire you from the inside out. Just like a song gets stuck in your head after hearing it enough times, the right words spoken often become the soundtrack of your inner life. Speak what you want to believe and keep speaking it until it becomes instinct. Because when your subconscious mind finally believes in your growth, your behavior will naturally follow. That's when transformation becomes effortless, because it's no longer something you're trying to do. It's who you've become. The first few moments of your day are some of the most powerful. What you do and say in the morning isn't just a habit. It's a signal to your brain, your emotions, and your energy about how the rest of the day will unfold. Most people don't realize that their entire mindset for the day is being shaped in those first 10 to 15 minutes. And when you wake up and immediately check your phone, scroll through social media, or dive straight into stress, you've already handed over control of your focus and emotions to something outside of you. This is why speaking powerful, intentional sentences over your life in the morning is such a transformative practice. It's more than motivation. It's mental alignment. It's the act of choosing your direction before the world chooses it for you. When you begin your day with clarity, with truth, and with words rooted in purpose and strength, you create internal stability. That stability becomes your anchor when the day tries to pull you in different directions. Your morning declarations act like a compass. They remind you who you are, what you're aiming for, and what you will not allow to distract or derail you. So instead of starting your day on autopilot, reacting to whatever shows up, you begin with authority. You set your internal temperature. You decide your attitude. You speak into your future before the noise of the world gets a chance to speak into you. And this isn't just about mindset, it's about energy. When you begin your day with power, you walk with power. You interact with others from a place of groundedness, not emotional drift. You make decisions with more confidence and less fear. You handle challenges with more calm and less chaos. Think of your morning words like tuning an instrument. A musician doesn't wait until the middle of a concert to tune their instrument. They do it before the performance begins. Why? Because the tone you set at the beginning affects everything that follows. Your life is no different. The way you start your day echoes through everything you do. So speak life early. Speak purpose early. Speak victory early. Because when your first words are intentional, your next steps will be aligned. And that one shift choosing to command your mornings with truth, has the power to shift not just your day, but your entire destiny. Your life is a reflection of the words you speak, both to yourself and about yourself. Words are not just sounds, they are seeds. And every seed you plant with your mouth grows into thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and ultimately actions. What you continually say begins to shape what you see, what you expect, and what you accept. That's why nothing in your life will consistently rise above the language you use to describe it. Many people are living small not because they lack talent, opportunity, or potential, but because their words have built a ceiling over their future. Every time they say, "I can't, it's too late, people like me never win," they are reinforcing invisible chains around their possibilities. Over time, those words harden into beliefs, and beliefs control behavior. You stop trying, you stop believing, you stop stretching, and your life quietly begins to match your limited language. But the same way words can shrink your world, they can also expand it. When you begin to speak words of growth, strength, direction, and purpose, especially daily, you start shifting the atmosphere of your mind. I am capable. I attract wisdom. I was created for more. These aren't just nice sayings. They are declarations of authority. You're telling your inner world what to believe, even before your outer world agrees. The truth is, your mind responds to your voice more than anyone else's. You believe yourself more than you believe others. That's why speaking life aloud is so crucial. It bypasses external noise and builds internal structure. It's not about ignoring reality, it's about shaping it from the inside out. You're not pretending life is easy. You're preparing yourself to be stronger than your struggles. Think about it. Every major transformation in history, every movement, every revolution began with words. Vision was spoken before it was seen. Change was declared before it was built. The same principle applies to your personal growth. Before anything changes externally, your words must change internally. The most successful people in the world don't just think differently, they speak differently. They guard their language because they know its power. You can't speak defeat and expect victory. You can't declare confusion and expect clarity. You must choose words that match the future you desire, not the struggle you fear. So every time you open your mouth, ask yourself, am I building or breaking? Am I speaking from faith or from fear? Because your future isn't just waiting on effort, it's waiting on alignment. And your words are the first place that alignment begins. Speak like someone who knows their life is listening. Because it is. And it will follow the voice you give it.